What I'm looking for in a bank is one that's looking out for me, like NBT. I want a relationship and a team that supports me in my dreams. And when life gets challenging, I need a bank that's focused on what matters. Not to mention one that's been top rated by Forbes in trust, customer service, financial advice, and more. That's why when it comes to meeting my banking needs, it's always NBT. Learn more at nbtbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome and thanks for tuning in. This is Tom Hickey from 2020 Media, and you are listening to NBT Bank's On the Scene podcast. Thank you, NBT, for continuing to be a sponsor. Without you, this would not be possible. We reach over 250,000, that's 250,000 readers of weha.com, the Jewish Ledger, and West Hartford Magazine with every broadcast. Thanks again for joining us. Before we get started, I would like to introduce my co-host, Bob Carr, who is with us this evening. Hello, Bob.
Hello, Tom. So thank you, Tom. Tom Hickey, along with myself, Koshik Makati, and Ronnie Newton is the founder of weha.com. Tom brings to West Hartford the Connecticut Jewish Ledger, West Hartford Magazine, which is West Hartford's original lifestyle magazine, the various tastes of West Hartford, the best of West Hartford, which we just celebrated the 10th anniversary a week or so ago, and other fun events throughout the year. Our podcast is assembled and posted by the Modern Observer Group of Middletown, Connecticut. And today our guests are Barbara Karsky and Karen Herbert of BK and Company. Hello, Karen and Barbara.
Hello.
Hello. Now I feel like we have to start. Yeah, exactly. I feel like we have to start the whole podcast with the word fabulous, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So
always be fabulous.
Always, yeah. And for those of you who've been living under a rock and have not been into their store in West Hartford Center on Farmington Avenue, please do so and let Barbara and Karen know that you were tuned in and you heard all about them on the podcast on the scene. That would be great. Bob, you'd like to start with the first question. You want to go for it?
I do. All right. So I did read your bios. I see you both worked. I know you both worked at Bloomingdale's, were buyers at Bloomingdale's, which was really cool. I lived in New York. However, so you've been in business about 38 years. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. I had to do some math.
Good math.
Yeah. And
So-
Bob, you learn something new every day because I didn't even know that. So there you go. That's it.
So the one question I had, so you've been doing fashion for a super long time, which is great. So just a couple of things, like how has fashion changed, but specifically the fashion trends that have stuck and the ones that surprised you that have stuck, like things that you think, oh my goodness, how did that stick around? And then maybe how they built on each other. Since you both have that extensive background in that, just a kind of a long question or a lot of questions. I'm going to mute because I have some work to be done in my house. So
Okay.
I'll start by saying that retail and fashion evolves weekly, honestly. If you find like a fun influencer and she starts a new trend, it can change weekly. But Karen and I have found that the one thing that has remained constant throughout 38 years is relationship. We find our customers, they crave to come in and have special attention. They want to be known. They want their personality and their lifestyle choices to be reflective in their clothes. And so that never changes. Right? Wouldn't you say?
100%. I mean, a lot of what we do, sometimes I call it a ministry, but people come in and they want to talk. We know them. We know their kids. We know what they bought 38 years ago. We opened as a men's store actually a long time ago. We know what their husbands still are wearing when we opened that store. What, in 1986?
Yeah.
They're still wearing those khakis, and that's but we know our clients, and the new clients that we get to know is a privilege, and we love that too. So it's just been a great talking about trends, trending in friendship and is important as trending in fashion. So we kind of stay on top of that.
Yeah. And when we go into the market, we specifically look for certain things for certain customers that we know, like people that sometimes are, I'm tall women, like to have their pants the right length, and Karen's shorter. So we have that, we keep that in mind. We're always keeping our customers in mind when we're in the marketplace, and we'll sometimes turn to each other and we're like, you know what, Sally would love that. Or you know what, so.
Yeah.
The relationship.
And do you think, like, I was thinking, if Sally likes it, then maybe the people that Sally hangs around with will like it too? Does that make sense or no?
Yeah, a little bit. We
A
we don't
little?
like
Okay.
that because everyone's body type is different, everyone's personality, right, and their lifestyle.
Right.
So
Yeah, okay.
they might be friends, but I dress very different than Barb dresses, maybe, and I
Yeah.
don't want, a lot of times when friends come in and shop together, that's a really fun experience, but it can be also trying for us because it
Hmm.
sometimes keeps people from going out of the box. They're expected to look like this, and that doesn't look right because that's not what I expect in you. But if you see somebody in that, on the street,
Yeah.
you're like, wow,
Yeah.
you look really fabulous. And you don't even know why, but it's because they look different than they usually look.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm not going to use names, but except I'll just say my wife. But you guys know Siobhan, and she's very colorful and likes all that, kind of stuff. Her best friend does not like color. Is like black and white and beige and and the whole bit. And it's
Right.
sort of funny to see. And then every once in a while, like you just said, Karen, if all of a sudden she wears a green or purple, or something, though it's not a lot of color, you're like, oh wow, she just looks totally different, because she has color. Well,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, we've seen that when someone would come in with a couple of friends and everyone has a different personality and they're all trying to make her look like them as opposed to her looking like herself. So sometimes it can be interesting, but women like to shop together. So we've had some really great experiences of women coming in together and everybody being happy because we're pretty on you. If it doesn't look good, we don't let you walk out of the store like that.
No.
Interesting. And tell me a little bit, because I'm curious about it, and maybe Bob, this ties in a little bit with some of the trends and how things change. It's every Wednesday, right, that you do this virtual fashion. Obviously, just like if you had asked me, 2 years ago, if we were going to do a podcast, I would have said, "What's a podcast?" I mean, a little bit, So you change with the times, and you make things work. So do people? Do current customers tune in on Wednesday night to see what you're going to be talking about and what you're wearing? I mean, I've seen, I loved, I don't know if it was the last one, but anyway, I saw one episode where you were standing next to each other, and your clothes changed, like you swapped, I thought that was awesome. It was great.
We have a lot of fun with that. Well, let's step back just 1 second. So some people
Sure.
might not even know that for 242 weeks, every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, we do a Facebook Live fashion show. Barb and I change our clothes right here in the store. We set up our iPad and we do a 25, 30-minute fashion show of what's new and what's trending that's just come into the store. So it's fresh. And people tune in. Husbands tune in with their wives. Everyone's got a glass of wine. They're talking. They can banter with us. So it's been a really fun venture for us and really kept us in the loop during COVID. And people just want us to continue doing it. So we have.
Yeah, it was our pivot during COVID because, of course, we had the mandatory shutdown and we had no way to sell our merchandise. That we had just received our full spring assortment and we were like, wow, how are we going to do this? And so, we got the idea from my son-in-law who was doing a concert and we picked up on it and said, this is a great way for our community to connect with us at home. They can connect to each other. And we built this really great community of women that tunes in, and a man, well, maybe a couple men, but one that we know of. And they tune in every Wednesday night and they talk to us, they talk to each other, and it's really quite amazing.
And they call the store that night, reserve things, or they come in the next morning. It's been really a fun for us.
Yeah, and it does help us. The reaction to things does help us buy, then like fine tune. If we get a reaction and we sell out of something immediately, then we can go right back in and chase the business. So it's a great business tool as well.
And and it's funny that everyone always says to me on the publishing side, the traditional publishing side, when we used to print, products and mail them, to people, it's all virtual, it's all online, it's all digital now. And so much has changed. I mean, the numbers, and I quote another fellow, jeweler who's in West Hartford Center, who basically said, I don't care who shops with me as long as they shop with me, and I don't care if they come into the store or go online, as long as they're shopping, and I think it's so true, and it's something without COVID, I mean, right? You think of this horrible shutdown and what could have happened to all of us, if we just sat around and did nothing, but
Right.
it really
Yeah.
it turned our world around, and
Mhm.
and exponentially. And Bob and I still, you know, can't believe, and I get goosebumps thinking about it or talking about it. Just you've taken these numbers of people, who maybe couldn't get into the store now can watch on Wednesday nights. I mean, it's a whole different world. They could be in Europe, they could be in California, they could be anywhere, which is so different.
And quite honestly, we don't sell online. We don't have an online store. We want to know our customers. So people call us and we can actually have a discussion of, how something fits. She can describe herself or send me a picture, Barb a picture. And, so we don't have a website where you buy online. You call us and you have a conversation, but everything we show in the fashion show, it is photographed on our website and also on our Facebook page. So you can see it with the
Great.
prices.
And while I think of it, and Bob, maybe this is a good idea, Karen and Barbara, what's the phone number and what's the website address, just for people who are, who are listening and want to jot down, remember you guys.
So our phone number is 860-836-6. Oh, that's my cell phone. I don't want to. 860-232. I mean, we will take your cell phone. I mean, we do that all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm so bad on my phone, I'm not going to give you that one.
Yeah.
860-232-6225. And then our website is www.bkcostyle.com. And our Facebook page is BK CO Style. And we have an Instagram as well. So you can see, you can see everything. It's pretty great.
So you guys are all obviously about the personal experience, right? So that's what the key is for making company success over the timeline, and then you mentioned that you have customers that come in, over the decades, and when you're shopping, when you're looking to buy, you're looking at things that your clients are looking for. How do you develop the new customer? How do you develop that new person who just moves to town, next year or two, and they know your store, see your store, but they're not quite sure when they come into the store what to expect?
Well, that is a great question. And a lot of times you don't know because people don't come in and say, I saw your post on Facebook. I mean, sometimes they do. We got a customer from Syracuse, which is interesting because both Karen and I are that's our hometown, Syracuse. But and she called on the phone one day and she said, oh, I saw you carry one of the brands. I was looking for it and I saw it on my Facebook feed. And I said, oh, where are you calling from? And she said, Syracuse. I said, wow, that's incredible. We're from Syracuse. And we started up with this conversation but she had just found us randomly on her feed.
Like 3 years ago.
Yeah. And she has to be the greatest customer.
And just came to see us. Came from Syracuse. It's a 4-hour drive.
Wow.
Saturdays ago. And came to see us. Amazing, right? That's what we developed. That's one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then P.S. It's a 4-hour drive if you drive like Karen, who drives really fast. It's really a 5-hour drive.
Because I was going to say that I lived in Oswego. I went to college at SUNY Oswego. So
Bob, I will say it's old school. You know what? Word of mouth. It goes
word of mouth.
Way back to the very beginning. It's just word of mouth is the best thing that we have.
Like our Betsy experience from this past week.
Yep. She brought a friend in, then they brought another friend in, and it just grows. And they had a great experience. It was just so much fun for them. They came during a Liverpool try-on event and they loved it. So they'll be back. And they'll tell people, and then you have a bad experience and you tell 10 people. So and our staff is fabulous. The ladies who've been with us forever, they actually help dress us for our virtual lives. So we are so in tune and touch everything that comes into the store, knows how it fits. So it's just a great experience. So people get that. And the word of mouth is just is really important.
Were the staff, were they customers first? Staff or no?
Sue maybe.
Sue was some.
Okay. All right. Because I don't know if Bob, if you were thinking of going there, but 30 years is a long time. And you're still smiling, even though the people who are listening can't see that, but they can tell, in your voices. So how do you, my goodness, remain friends and business partners and, you know, and all that over 30 years. I know it's not easy. You don't have to tell us any horror stories, but just, it's very special. It's a very big deal.
Yeah.
No, it's very special.
I think it's real. We're really grounded. Karen and I are really grounded in the things that are outside of the store first. You know, our kids grew up together. We grew up together as families. We have the same kind of basic good faith. And so we're grounded outside, and then we try and bring that in here. And I think our staff feels it. Our customers feel it. It's very collaborative, very respectful. So I think that's
yeah, and I
key.
I think we also each excel at different things. So we blend. It's like so funny. I do a lot of the buying, although Barb's with me, but when the merchandise comes to the store, she does the whole floor and puts it all together. And it's just always amazing to me how that happens flawlessly. We really each have our own strengths. I'm not a numbers person. Barb is very much a numbers person. She loves the mystery of finding things that I mess up, and she can put them together. You know, it just works.
Nothing.
You know, I just am more of a visionary, I think, and scale. Barb does our Christmas windows. They're always magnificent. I have nothing to do with that. It's a busy time. I love to sell. I love working with customers. That's my joy. So we just have a different things we bring to the table that work out really well, and we appreciate that in each other.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we all need a little more appreciation in the world.
I have a question. So why is West Hartford so lucky to have you, since you were from Syracuse, you went to work in New York City, and then you ended up here?
We actually we went to high school together. We met in 10th grade. I wrote a paper that we were going to own a store together. We went to college together. We met our guys in college, and they were from here.
Yeah, they both went to Kingswood. So they were best friends. We were best friends, and they were from Hartford. And so after college, we ended up coming back to Hartford. That was well, we started in Avon. That was our first store. So
okay.
That's how
and I don't remember. And did you say earlier that there was you had men's clothing too?
That's how we started.
Oxford bags. It was in Simsbury.
Come on, absolutely. I remember Oxford bags, but I never put two and two together. Okay, that's cool. See, I think I know you. You know, you never know. That's
we have a past.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we all do. That's for sure. Talk a little bit about, and Bob, I hope you don't mind me asking this question because it's a little self-serving, but I said this the other night, and I really meant it. You know, winning the best of West Hartford for 10 years is a big deal. It's a big deal to place, just in the top 3 for 10 years real, but to actually win, is huge. So all these things that we just talked about, do you think that that's what makes you stand out?
Yeah, I think
vote for you.
I think our assortment really speaks to people. It's very relatable. So we have a pretty broad customer base, but then the other piece of it is that customer base is so loyal. It's crazy. We have such a loyal customer base.
Right.
Beautiful.
And we love being in West Hartford Center, and we certainly are proud of the fact that our clients, I guess, vote for us, and we get to be the best of. We're proud of that, and thank you for even offering that opportunity to us.
Yeah, absolutely. And just for the listeners who have tuned in, since we're reminiscing, for how many years you were on LaSalle Road? So how many years were you there?
We've been here 8 years.
Has it already been 8? Wow.
Yeah, it's 8. So we were there for 12. No, I'm sorry.
23.
22 and 8. 22 and 8.
22 and 8. There you go.
And 8 here.
Yes.
I'm the numbers person.
I was just going to say that, Barbara.
Did I mention that?
That's why you answered it.
Yeah. And then we had our men's store for 9 years before that?
We started in 86. So 2 years from now, we're going to be in business, in little, small, independent business for 40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've been best friends for 50 years. We had our 50th anniversary.
Oh, wow. That's great.
That's fun.
Those must be special reunions when you go back to those. Yeah, it's like, what's neat?
It's like being married. You know? we're like an old married couple.
I think in high school we were actually
voted best couple, or like in the parody of
couples, and I was on her shoulders in the picture.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Class couple.
The class couple.
That's funny. That's great.
Yeah,
that's good.
We're an old married couple that doesn't bicker.
Right. At least not in public. And how about the word fabulous? Let's try to end on that note. I know that's something that I think the general public thinks about. I think I just saw something on Facebook where AI renamed some of the businesses or something in West Hartford Center, and yours was fabulous something. I forgot what it was, but it was
wow.
Like,
when we even started saying that. Fabulous like you.
Yeah.
BK and Company, fabulous like you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we started that. That was a long time ago.
That was Fly. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all right. That gets back to what you were saying. People want to feel great, when they leave.
That's what we say. It's like you want to feel as great, as fabulous as you look. You want to. So our clothes are comfortable. They make you feel good. You get compliments. It's like, it's a whole package.
Right.
Wow.
Dressing. It's a whole package.
And a lot of the idea of fabulous also is helping women to understand that they are fabulous no matter what weight, no matter what shape, no matter what age.
Absolutely.
Women are fabulous. They're just like our customer comes in, and sometimes they come in a very like down kind of mood, right? A little unconfident. And by the time they, we get them in a dressing room and get them back
feeling good,
looking good and feeling good. That's what it's about. So, but it is. I mean, that is our mantra. We just want women to know that they're fabulous.
Beautiful. All right. So everybody listening, if you want to feel fabulous, I'm going to ask Barbara and Karen to tell us again, what's your address, what's your phone number, and your website.
Okay. Well, we're in the wonderful West Hartford Center on Farmington Avenue, 983 on Farmington Avenue, a couple doors down from the intersection of Farmington and LaSalle.
Beautiful.
And you can find us on the web at bkcostyle.com. And you can find us on Facebook and on Instagram, BK Style.
Yep.
Just Google fabulous.
There you go. I love it. That's great.
Fabulous fashion West Hartford. It will pop right up.
Yeah,
right,
you guys have been I'm gonna have a new word for you too. You're delightful. So thank you.
Oh, there we go.
I'm going to sign back off onto because there's no noise behind me, but I wanted to mention that. So thank you for being on today.
And yes, thank you. And we hope to see everybody on our virtuals.
Yeah, virtual styling every Wednesday night at 7.
every Wednesday at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Without fail. This week is about Black Friday.
Oh, that's right. Absolutely.
It's going to be fun.
Fail.
Everything black or with black in it is on sale.
I love it. That's great. All right, guys. Great talking to you. And here's to the next 30, right? There you go.
Thank you.
Take care.
Cheers to you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What I'm looking for in a bank is one that's looking out for me, like NBT. I want a relationship and a team that supports me in my dreams. And when life gets challenging, I need a bank that's focused on what matters. Not to mention one that's been top rated by Forbes in trust, customer service, financial advice, and more. That's why when it comes to meeting my banking needs, it's always NBT. Learn more at nbtbank.com. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.